When the vehicle is locked and you walk up to the vehicle with the key, it senses the key because it has the full proximity system, and it turns on the interior lights. But there's no other exterior lights that turn on. There's no approach lights or anything like that. So now let's hit the unlock button. When we do that, side mirrors unfold, the interior ambient lights turn on, and then you have the headlights and tail lights now. The headlight switch does have an off position. You toggle it like that, it'll turn off all the exterior lights. But as soon as you put it in drive, go ahead and put it in drive, it'll turn on the exterior lights again. So you can only do it when you're parked. Now I have the parking lights on, and the parking lights are basically just these white LEDs up here. Very bright, actually. I don't think they're bright enough to mistake for headlights though, but they are fairly bright and sharp LED. Kind of has a little bit of a lightning bolt zigzag design. Looking pretty good. And these are also your daytime running lights as well. There's an amber side marker here in the front that turns on with the parking lights. There's a red side marker here in the back, and it kind of is part of the tail light. You see the design of the tail light is really wraps around to the side, serving as a side marker. And it's a sharp LED tail light, red in color. Tag lights are also on now. Hopefully you can see the sharpness of the tail light here. I'll turn the brightness down on the camera. The turn signal here in the front is an amber little LED strip here at the bottom, and it's just below that white strip. So it's just below there, and it's amber in color. Now when you turn the headlights on, this white light will be much dimmer. So that's part of the reason why the turn signal kind of looks a little bit, can't really see it as much as you can that white light, but it will dim down that white light when you have the headlights on. There's a turn signal indicator here on the side mirrors, amber in color. Not very bright, but you can see it from the front, the side, and the back. It's a little bit brighter looking this way. And the turn signal here in the back is amber LED, right there integrated into the tail light. So it's right where it should be. And it's the right color, amber. So that way it doesn't get confused with brake lights or just regular tail lights or something like that. Speaking of brake lights, the brake light, the third brake light is at the top of the glass, and of course everything is within the tail light housing. All the lights back here, the brake light, the reverse lights, everything. Now I had the low beams on, and the low beams, you can see now that white light that we saw before that was part of the parking lights, but also the daytime running lights. This is much dimmer. I don't know if you can tell that, but it's dimmer. And now we have a multi-projector headlight system. Really impressive. Kind of goes all the way across. And this is for your low and your high beams. But you'll notice all these projectors are illuminated right now, or they appear to be. There's no additional light. There is additional light that turns on, but it just gives you that. When you have the low beams on, it doesn't look like there's anything missing, you know. So the low beams, the cutoff, and go back here a little ways. Cutoff is about 2.5 feet off the ground. So above that, I can look directly at the lights. It's not blinding me or anything. So all the light is down here below the 2.5 feet range. Basically level with the headlights, basically. All right, so let's go to the high beams. There's the low, and there's the high beams. It's very impressive headlights. Wait till you go down the road. You can see them, especially the high beams. So now the high beams, you can't really tell a huge difference. It's just there's a light right next to each one of those projectors that now is turned on. But yeah, let me turn the brightness down a little bit more. Hopefully you can see that. So yeah, now the cutoff is right in my face. It's too high, but it's very bright, sharp LED headlights. The trunk light is just a single, very dim light there in the center. And so we have shadows all the way here on the left side, on the right side, shadows here, anywhere. There's just like a single light. It's very dim and not very good. The inside of the back door, there's no puddle light or anything. There's no pocket lights. The only light we have is a little finder light for the window and a little ambient light there. The light here in the back seat is coming from the center. There's two little lights there, mostly shining in the laps. Does a decent job, I guess. And there is some backlit USB ports here on the back of the console. But yeah, I mean, these are okay. These lights do shine on the floorboard a little bit. The driver's door, there's no puddle lights, no approach lights, nothing like that. No pocket lights. There is, all the buttons are backlit here. There's some ambient light there and a little strip. And there's the release the trunk. All that's backlit. And the ambient light goes here on the floorboard and around the vehicle. We'll look at that soon. And the interior lights are here in the center, just shining once again more in the lap area. So there's the high beams, there's the low beams. You can see a huge difference with the high beams. It's amazing. And the high beams have this really high, you can see it on the trees there. It goes up a lot. And this helps out for going up and down hills. So if you're going down a hill and there's another hill just coming right back up, then you can see down the road further than if there was that lower position. Now the low beams, all low beams have this. There's a shadow on the oncoming lane, and it looks like it's lined up pretty good. You can see that. You see that the cutoff has like a notch on the oncoming lane in order to accommodate for reflections from like a wet road or just the deviations in the road, up and down, that kind of thing. So right now we're going down. You can see it's a little bit of a shadow on the oncoming lane, and when we come back up, as we're aiming the headlights up, that cutoff will be just a little bit lower on that oncoming lane, just to help out a little bit. I mean, it still is going to get high sometimes and you know, shine bright lights in people's faces. That's just the way these type of systems are. But until we get the, you know, adaptive headlight systems in the United States, it's just the way it is. Now I have the camera a little bit brighter than what you'll actually see with your eyes. Part of the reason why is because it's hard to show the pattern of the headlights if I have it too low, especially if the headlights aren't that bright. So in this case, you know, you'll be able to see how good the headlights are, but just remember it's just a little bit brighter than what you actually see. Okay, so there's the low beams, and there's the high beams there. And yeah, and basically you can see everything in front of the vehicle. You can see the trees in the distance, and even on the low beams, you can see next to the road there in front of me. So if there's any kind of deer or anything, I could keep an eye on those. Make sure there's nothing on the side of the road. Yeah, the trees in the distance. With all those projectors lined up, there's absolutely no, you know, significant patching, or the distance is fantastic. The sides of the road, the brightness, the pattern. You can't really say anything about these headlights. I mean, it's just really good. And it's similar to the Integra. The Acura Integra had unbelievably good headlights. It's basically the same thing, I think. They're really good. It's like daylight in front of the vehicle, basically. The Nissan Z had really good headlights as well. So yeah, they're in that really high-end range of headlights. Low and high beams. Like, low beams are still really good. That cutoff goes all the way on the sides there, and then the high beams just brings it to a new level. And that height, it really, even on flat roads, it's good, but it just, you know, has other uses, of course, with the hills and stuff. But yeah, this is looking really good. It's nice to have everything illuminated in front of you, and you know, you don't really need any kind of cornering lights or fog lights or anything like that. This vehicle is just really good at just handling everything with the existing headlights that it has. Now the automatic high beams, I hadn't really had much of an issue with these. They seem to be working fine. They're a little on the cautious side though. So like right now they're not turning high. So, you know, if it's really, really dark and you really need to watch out for deer or something, it's probably a good idea to just go ahead and put it on manual temporarily, and you just put it on automatic on the headlight switch, and which is not illuminated, by the way, so you kind of have to just, you turn it and just find out which is which at nighttime. Well, it's raining. Let's go ahead and go to the ambient light. Go swipe to the right, go to ambient lighting. We have a theme or we have brightness. So we have, I have it on high brightness, but right now we have it on comfort. Dynamic mode will just basically make it to where it will change with the drive mode. Normal, there's that, it's kind of like a white color. And then there is sport, which is red, everything red, floorboard here as well. Sport Plus. Sport Plus is dark in the bottom and you still have the red on the top. Auto Dromo, which is like a, looks like a white on the bottom and then red on top. So yeah, you have these different ones. You can have red, you can have different colors. Grand Premio, it's like a yellow. And then you have a green, and you have a, let's go to green. So it's green floorboard, and then the top part is like an orange. Let's go through here. Okay, so we got some purples here, purple floorboard, and then just like a, kind of like an orange up here at the top. So yeah, there's different ones that you can just choose. They have a lot of different ones here. Different colors. And we have blue and green. We've got red and white. And at the very bottom one is like a yellow. In the comments, let me know what your favorite ambient light is when you have a vehicle. What color do you like to have in it? We'll go ahead and go to a blue, I guess.